Hey everyone, Enis20, and welcome to Dungeon Fighter Online. So, gosh, I have a long history with this game, which I think I can get into later. Even though I already have plenty of times in the past, I've talked about my history with DFO. Today I want to do something a little, like before I actually get into playing the game, I want to dive into some, like, background on DNF Duel, since I know most people who went to DNF Duel were just like, oh, that looks like a cool fighting game, and they don't know anything about DFO itself. So they have no connection to like the stages or different elements of the game that are actually pretty cool. So this is like, I guess, a bit of a history lesson, I guess. I'm not the best to be giving this, but I figured, hey, I play it, I can at least try. I'm sure someone will eventually come by and be like, actually, XYZ. Anyway, so the first cool thing I noticed when DFO started up, when DNF Duel started up, is the press start menu. The music there, I believe, is the main theme that plays on the character select for DFO, which I thought was awesome. And of course, when you create a room in the game, a lobby for people to come in, it's actually just styled after this area, like exactly. Now that I'm looking at it again, I'm like, yeah, this is how it looks in DNF Duel. It even has a safe in the corner, which I thought was really cool. Which this is where you load into every single time you play the game after your initial character creation. It's called Saria's room. This is Saria. So yeah, this is basic. I guess you could call it the hub. Here you have your safe, which is divided into two categories. Gosh, I have a lot of stuff. Which is the safe, which is where you put stuff for the character that you don't want to hold on to because it fills up your inventory too much. And then you also have the account vault, which is where you put stuff that you want to share between all your characters, the ones that you have. So if I put something in here as Janix, I can swap to a different character and take it out with them too. Of course, not everything can be put into the account vault. As you can see, this stuff is grayed out. And it usually counts for like very important epic weapons. Stuff that's hard to get doesn't go in there. But yeah. So I thought it was really cool how the lobbies in DNF Duel are designed after Saria's room. I'm like, awesome. Very awesome. So I'm going to try to remember all the stages and the stage elements, but it's been a while. Well, I mean, it's been like one day since the DNF beta ended. But anyway, so one of the stages in the game is Hendon Meyer, which is right outside. So this is Hendon Meyer. It is the first big main city that you come to over the course of the game. Because you actually start south of here. I actually have the big map. Oh, is it south? I thought it was south. Is it north? Where's Elvengard? I forget. Because you start the game in Elvengard, and then Hendon Meyer is the second place you go to. Because Elvengard is like your tutorial area. I think it's north. Regardless, you don't spend a lot of time in Elvengard. The game has been streamlined to like ridiculous. Yeah, here we go. No, this is Dark Elf. Where the heck is? Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. Elvengard is not a stage yet. Oh, here it is. It's north. Yeah, okay. But anyway, after the tutorial's done and you have your first advanced character, you come to Hendon Meyer. Big main important city. I noticed in the background of the stage you can see Chobung. She's actually in the background of the stage when you're fighting. I believe she's also next to her horse and cart. I could be wrong. But Chobung is a... I actually never use her. She takes you to the arena. Oops. I forget that's a training zone. I don't need to be there. Yeah, if you step here, it'll take you to, I think it's the PvP part of the game. The arena. which I have never ever done. I don't do PvP. I'd probably suck at it. I think it's interesting that Lady Curie isn't in the game. I'll have to look at the footage again for the stage. But yeah, it's this nice little area, big hub, very important place, because it leads to a whole bunch of different dungeons that you'll have to complete in the game. Like, obviously, if you go east, it takes you to the west coast, where you have access to Behemoth and the Sky Tower. And then if you go west, it takes you to the back alley and North Meyer. So there's like a lot of stuff here. You probably spend a bit. And it's not all back to back. At least I don't think it is. I think you come and go as the story progresses. But yeah, it's really nice. I liked seeing it in the footage, in the stuff. So, gosh, I really want to look at it now because I'm curious. I don't know if anyone has any pictures of it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I know for certain Chobung is in it. Yep, she's on the left with her cart and horse, yep. In the middle, there's a fountain. Is that in here? If it isn't, it's still a good touch. Oh, you can see the bulletin board on the right. Right, okay, so the bulletin board. I think the bulletin board's pretty hilarious, honestly. And the reason being I can't even interact with it. There's a story quest that requires you interacting with it. You find out something like big and important over the course of the story, and another character, I can't remember his name, tells you have to go to Hendon Meyer and put this on bulletin board and let everybody know. And I'm like, really? So you make this dramatic announcement by stamping it on this board, and everybody also knows. I just think it's pretty funny for that. Yeah, on the right side of the stage also are two other NPCs. I think they're just generic, though. I don't recognize anyone with those designs. If it were up to me, I would use more of the characters in Hendon Meyer, like Buckin or Pung Jin, to put them there. Or Lady Curie. Or Kana. Kana's been around for a long time, so I think it would make sense to put her on the side. One thing I do remember about old DFO is that your characters actually had teachers who would help you advance through your class, depending on who they were, on what class you were. So if you were a gunner of any kind, your teacher would be Lady Curie. Right here. She's the one that you come to for your quest advancements and all that stuff. And if you were a fighter, like I am, you would go to Pung Jin. He would be your guy. They don't do that anymore, unfortunately. They streamline Awakening, and they tied the events of Awakening 1 to specific story stuff. But they tied Awakening 2 to one character, and then and the Awakening is its own thing as well. So they don't have any more uniqueness to it, which I'm actually pretty saddened by. I thought it was cooler that way. Another cool thing about the stage in Hendon Meyer in the game is that you can see the Sky Tower in the background, which is good, which we're going to go to now. So this is actually a different version of West Coast because of where I am in the story. There is no Alliance camp when you first start the game. It's just a town. I'll take that. Let's try. Don't want any pop-ups in the way. That's the worst character in the game right there. Vaughn. I hate him. I don't know if the game wants you to hate him, but I legitimately don't like him. He's like the worst addition to the story, in my opinion. Okay, so Sky Tower is in West Coast, and initially, the reason you come to Sky Tower in the story, because when you start the game, you meet Saria, you go through the tutorial with her, and she comes with you to the West Coast, to Sky Tower, specifically because she wants to investigate the Pentacle. So, you can actually see Sky Tower in the background back there. So, what Sky Tower is, for those who don't know, it's this giant tower that connects Arad and Empyrean. Ooh, I can open the... Where's the map? Like a big map. I need to go to a dock. Okay, give me a second. Because it's best to show it this way. Because it's the way that the game's designed. Okay, dock. Okay, there it is. It's down there. Here we are. Okay. So here you go. So, can you see the mouse? Is the mouse on the screen? It should be. Yes, it is. Oh, thank goodness. So, the Sky Tower, as you can see, it goes up to the middle ocean, which is this area right here. That's ocean, that's water. And on top of the middle ocean is Empyrean, with these countries, these continents, these lands. And the Sky Tower goes up through it. At the top of the Sky Tower, underneath Empyrean, is a giant pentacle that protects Empyrean from anything that would want to come up from Arad. And specifically, over the course of the story, there's something very bad that is trying to get to the top of Sky Tower, break through the pentacle, and attack Empyrean. The Alliance camp forms to stop it. But yeah, that is what Sky Tower is. So I'm actually going to go into Sky Tower. Of course, by this point in the game, it has changed to the abysmal Sky Tower, which is totally different from the first one you visit when you come here. But basically, Saria wants to know what's up with the pentacle. She wants to check in on it to make sure it's not in pieces. Okay, old Sky Tower. And this is OG Sky Tower. Which is very, very, very cool. I like Sky Tower. Going through it is a fun time. Bring up the images of the Sky Tower stage. I don't think there are any NPCs on the Sky Tower stage. No, but it looks cool. So let's just go to, I think Dragonoid Nest is the first one. Yeah, it's level 17, so we'll go there. I can kill everything in one hit, so this is no big deal. But this is good old Sky Tower. This one has like a noontime setting. The one in the game in DNF Duel is daytime. But yes, Sky Tower is really fun. I remember it being like a really good part. OG DFO days. And of course, because how streamlined everything is, you get through areas a lot more quickly now in DFO than you did back in the old days, like way faster. But yeah, Sky Tower is fun. There's a lot of stuff that you do going up here, checking it on, seeing what's up. I think you meet some semi-important people up here. And that's where I think this is where you first interact with Vaughn. Could be wrong, and I don't like him. So all I can distinctly remember about Sky Tower now is how it ends. Hey, boss time. Who is it? Oh, Lakeus, whatever. Yeah, also Maya Fighter is not a striker. She is a brawler. Which is the dirty fighting class that uses a poison. Yes, I'm looking at the image of Sky Tower again. Yeah, I mean, it looks accurate. There's really nothing much else to say, because there are no NPCs on Sky Tower, unfortunately. I kind of wish there were. Like a boss, one of the bosses around. I think I would specifically like, let me see. Because you can see the bosses in the screen of which one you're going to fight. Oh. So in this case, that's Lekius right there. They have a Puppet Master on this one. Big Golem there. Castellan over here. Castellan, he's the one that I would have picked. Like, if we were going to have an NPC just in the background for some reason, I would have gone with Castellan. And also, you can see water outside. So you're going up through the middle ocean. Which I think is really rad. I'm trying to remember, I think there's one floor, one of the levels of this dungeon that's actually underwater. Like, you can actually float in it. It's not this one. Because I was not floating. Is there still someone around? Oh. That's just a very big area. I don't remember the other stages. I know that there is one more nearby in the opposite direction. Oh, a big golem. Gosh, the attacks are so cool. Poison power. Oh, I can't anymore. They interrupted it. I was like, why can't I use my attack? Just poison them to death. Yeah, so the music in this game is really good. I haven't heard it in a while because I usually mute the game. Just so I can listen to podcasts and stuff while I'm grinding. Because since I have almost all my characters at the end game, all I can really do anymore is grind. So, you know, that's how it goes. The next thing we're going to be looking at is the Moonlight Tavern, which is east of Hendon Meyer, I believe. Definitely not in West Coast. Should be around the back alley, which is what takes you to the North Meyer dungeons. Which I really hope they put North Meyer as a stage, just because I think there's some really good music they could use from there. To be fair, I think the music in DNF Duel is cool, but I can't tell what any of it is. By being super honest, I don't know what it is. Oh, and here's GSD. He was the tutor for the Slayers. And he's blind, so I believe he is an Asura. And actually, over here, I believe... I could be wrong. I think Grandis is the teacher for the priest, the female priest specifically. I don't know if. Well, actually, the teacher for the gunners is Kiri, regardless of whether you're male and female. So I think Grandis is for both priests. I could be wrong. It's been a while. I don't even think the female priest was around back during those days when they actually had unique teachers. I know the night class definitely wasn't. So anyway, we're going to go back to the back alley again, and we're going to go into the Moonlight Tavern, which is right here. So yeah, this is the stage also from the game, which has two recognizable NPCs in the background. It's got Caracas. He's on the table on the left, and I think this exact same pose, which is really funny. I keep wanting to say Suisha, but it's spelled Siusha, who is an elf, and she owns the tavern. I think this stage is cool just because it has the I believe there's like people yelling in the background, like depending on how good you're doing. I don't know if that's in every stage. I definitely notice it every time I fight on this stage. So you only really need to come into the Moonlight Tavern to meet, I think it's Caracas. I think Vaughn's in here at one point, because you need to talk to him all the damn time. I don't remember if you have to come in here for Suisha, but it's not important It's not like too vital to come here a lot, but I think it's a nice place to choose just because, you know, what's a game without some barroom brawls, right? What other stages are there in the game? So we have Sky Tower, Hendon Meyer, Tavern, Zelva, but that can't be it. Ah, the Oceanic Express. Yes, that'll be the next one. Because that is earlier in the story than Zelva. And I think that's all. That's all the stages. Because it'd be Hendon Meyer, Sky Tower, Tavern, Oceanic Express, Zelva. 5. Yeah, I think it's just 5 stages. Because they introduced one stage with each of the... No, the St. Horne. Okay, so 6 stages. So there's 6 stages that they introduced with the characters. Because I believe Moonlight Tavern was new for Hitman's trailer. But all the other 5? No, because I think St. Horne was new for... Well, whatever. There's 6 stages, I'm going to say. I think there's only 6 stages. So between St. Horne, the Oceanic Express, and Zelva, the Oceanic Express is first, I think. Yes, it is. So we're going to go to the Oceanic Express. I don't remember how to get there, so I'm just going to... It's down here in Bonhoeffer. Which, by the way, Bonhoeffer has like a really, really awesome music piece. Like that's playing right now. It's fantastic. If you get time, because I don't think I'll be here long enough, like go onto the website and just look up. Go onto YouTube and just look at DFO Bonhoeffer theme or whatever. It's really good. So anyway, this is the Oceanic Express. It's a train that connects the area around Ghent and Bonhoeffer to the Western Lawless District, as you can see on the sign there. And what that is when you come to Empyrean and Ghent, you discover that the Empress of Ghent has been kidnapped by the cartels, this massive evil organization that operates out of the Lawless District. And currently, there's like a civil war, I think. Like, they're invading Ghent, and they're trying to take over. And they're just being assholes. So, you know, it's how it is. They're like insurrectionists. And your whole role in this story is to defeat them and get back the Empress and find her. And your first thing to do is secure Ghent. So the first string of dungeons are actually... what's it called? It's just right there, Canyon. Antwerp Canyon. That's their first string of dungeons there for level 63 to 70, where you're going to different areas around Ghent and trying to eliminate all of the cartels that are nearby. Once that's done, you're allowed to leave Ghent, since they can protect themselves now, and take the Oceanic Express to the Lawless District and eventually North Peace later in the story in order to help find the Empress and hopefully end this war with the cartels. So on the Oceanic Express stage, I don't believe Baron Vonnegut is on the stage. I definitely think he should be. Missed opportunity that he isn't, considering he is the train operator. I just realized the stage image doesn't show everything because it sometimes changes what's in the background. But there are 2. Are they here? Because they should be. Yes. Yeah, her. Coral is on the stage. She is on the stage, as is another little little fish person, who pops up out of a vent onto the top of the train for a bit during some fights. I forget her name though, but she has pink hair. Oh, let me grab that too, just so these could go away. So, which I think that's really nice. Anyway, so Oceanic Express time. Let's take a quick trip. Which one do I want to do? Okay, we're just gonna do Iron Scale. So yeah, there's the train. It's a really cool stage. Yes, here's the alligators. Yeah, these vents right here. On the stage next to Coral, there's one of these, and the other little mer person will just pop out of it in the middle of a fight and show up, which I think is funny. So the boss of this stage is actually also on the stage in DNF Duel. You can see him on the left, just kind of walking back and forth. Where is he? Oh, almost there. 2 more rooms. Super quick. Right, I forgot. That's why I got that. Yeah, Janix is one of the few characters of mine that actually has an epic weapon that I wanted. Oh no! I think this is the one. Well, why are you here? You're not the boss. Unless I picked the wrong stage. Is he like apologizing? Well, I mean, if she's gonna be there, then maybe... Is it just random if he shows up? Commodore Cannon Hand. You can see him right here in the picture. Yeah, he's the one who's on the stage, on the left side. See, I think the train's a good stage, just visually. It looks really cool. So I'm totally up with that. Next is St. Horne, which I don't know how to get to. I think... Can I get to it from Noble Sky? Anton. You can go back to Anton? I guess you can. I don't know why I would want to. Oh. Here we are, St. Horne. So I really like this stage too, just because of how it looks. But on this stage, you can actually see it's a big boat. Hang on a minute. The dungeon is locked. Should there be a dungeon here? Oh, there should be. I guess I haven't done the associated quest for it. That's fine. So on this stage, you can see in the background Captain Luther also drinking. He is actually he's a dragon man. I didn't even know that for a long time. There's a cutscene. I mentioned this, I think, while I was playing. I can't remember. There's a cutscene in DFO where the Empress rides in on a dragon to stop the civil war that's going on. And I didn't know, and I always thought it was just a random dragon she went to get as proof of her empressness. But no, it's him. Which is funny because if you look at the cutscene, he's obviously turning into a dragon. I don't know, it never connected with me. But yeah, he's cool. So the St. Horne, I believe, is home to resistance fighters who wish to help reclaim Ghent when it's because after the war against the cartels, you'd think everything would be fine, but later in the story, a civil war happens too between people loyal to the Empress and people loyal to, I think it's House Wayne. This guy is also on the stage, which I think is cool. The last Mimit guy. Oh, that's nice of him to say. His kind are actually involved with the Time Gate, which is involved with Second Awakening. So you actually fight three of his kind in order to get your Second Awakening, which is pretty cool. So that's nice. I like this stage. Good stuff. All right. So last stage is Zelva. Which we can just teleport to right here. So hey, you can actually see them on the map too. There's St. Horne, there's Zelva. See, if we had no Zelva, looks like a waste in the game. It looks just terrible. You know, it's it's all scorched earth and everything. The reason for that, Zelva is the remains of the Apostle Anton the Fire Eater, who is a gigantic fire turtle. And there's a certain series of missions in the story where you need to help the Empyrean forces defeat him because he's causing havoc everywhere. And after you do that and he dies, to land on his back, this is Zelva, which allows you to reach the Castle of the Dead, Luke's Tower, and break through on over to Pandemonium, the final area in the game, which you can see here. So here's Zelva. A temporary base built on the body of Apostle Anton to help 3 camps: the Joint Investigation Group, the Adventure Guild, and the Grim Seekers. The flying headquarters of the Resistance. It travels around Arad, carrying Resistance soldiers and helping them. And then see, it leads up to Pandemonium, which is once again through like another space tear or something like that. It's the only way to get to Pandemonium is through the tower. Oops, I didn't actually want to go to Central Park. I don't want to be here. Okay, so yeah, and you can. There's 3 groups here: the Joint Investigation Group, the Grim Seekers, and the Adventurers Guild. And when you play the game and you get to this part of the game, you can pick who you want to join with. So I've joined with the Adventurers Guild and the Grim Seekers several times. Here's Roy and Erica. They represent the Grim Seekers. I think Donna Donatel represents the Adventurers Guild. She's not here anymore. The NPCs move around depending on your progress in the story. And fucking Farrell Wayne, I think is his name, represents the Joint Investigation Group, which is why I've never joined the Joint Investigation Group, because he's the guy who goes on to start the Civil War in Ghent. So I'm like, I'm never helping you. It's just, they all have different ways that they want to deal with the Castle of the Dead, Pandemonium, and specifically the Apostle Luke, who is hanging out in the Castle of the Dead. Anyway, that's that. So yeah, this place is it's got all the camps. You can see them in the background of the stage, and you can also see some ships taking off and coming down, which I think they look exactly like this. So I believe that's all of it. That's everything that I have to say about DNF Duel stages and the backgrounds and stuff and the history for the characters and such. It's very well done. As someone who's played a lot of DFO, I really like the way that they handled the stages and how they look. And I look forward to, like, obviously we have more characters coming, but I really, really am looking forward to how they decide to adapt more stages from the game. I'd like to see something on Behemoth, and of course something in North Meyer, just because I think like the Mushroom Gardens, the theme song over there is really cool. And maybe some more stuff. I mean, they don't have anything in Pandemonium yet. Zelva's the doorway to Pandemonium, but I think something in Harlem or Central Park would be cool. Even though Harlem is like the worst area in the game. Harlem sucks. Like when you're playing through the game, like everything in the game has been streamlined, so you can pretty much zoom through almost everything with very little issue, except for Harlem. Harlem is not smooth. I believe this area, yeah, this is level 90 and 95 area. That's when you really slow down with leveling. The dungeons are really long. There's a lot to do here. It's really hard. Even if you have like standard equipment and you're on level, it's really frustrating. When I first started doing this area, I had to do it with help, because it's absolutely stupid how difficult this area is. Granted, I haven't gone through it in a while, so maybe since the last time I went through it, it's smoother now. But it's just so much. It's way too much, and I don't like it. Anyway. That is everything on the stages in DNF Duel. Hope you learned something. I like talking about this stuff. I find it fascinating. It expires in 24 hours. Yeah, I'm not going to use it anyway. I don't need it. So now I can switch characters. And once again, like I said, when you booted up DNF Duel and it was on the press start screen, where you press it and one of the characters says DNF Duel, which is really cool. The music that plays there is, I believe, this theme. Give me a second. Yeah, here we go. It's gonna start. Give it a moment. Yeah, that's it. In the back of the press start, you can hear that very distinct chime. It's like slowed down, and it's a little more gentle. It's not this, but it's really cool. So these are all my characters, and every single one of them is level 100 except for Meyer, my Dark Knight. The reason being is that he leveled up so fast I actually can't keep up with his equipment. So he's having a hard time in the dungeons he's on because he doesn't have like level 80 equipment. Unfortunate. It wasn't something I intended to do. Let's see. Here we go. So Cruz here, Retsu I mean, is my Berserker. When I first played Dungeon Fighter way back in the DNF days, in the Nexon days, I mean, he was, the Berserker class was the first one I ever did because I thought, oh, it looks cool. And then when I started DFO for Neopal, I created another Slayer, but I'm like, let me do something different since I did a Berserker before. And I was trying to do Blade Master, I think it's called. I didn't jive with the moveset though, it just wasn't hitting me. I'm like, I don't like this. So I swapped back to Berserker, and I'm like, yep, I should have just done this from the beginning, and I'm enjoying it. So yeah, he's my main dude. He's my main guy. First one I ever played with. Yeah, and of course the Berserker is in DNF Duel, obviously. He was the first one shown off alongside some other classes, which I have. I don't have everybody, but I have enough. So let me see. I have, where is it? This move, where he sucks things in. That one too. That's, I believe, Outrage. Called Raging Fury, I mean, which is one of his specials in the game where he just kind of blows up the area around him with blood. Oh no, here it is. This is the one that he has. He sucks you in and then smash, which I think is awesome. And then his I actually don't have it equipped. His super move from DNF Duel. I do have his aerial attack though, which is one of my favorite ones to use. Here we go. Yep, that one. That's an Outrage Break. That's the one. Here it is. Yeah, I took out Blood Riven because I don't like it compared to his other Awakening skill, but I will do it. So here's Blood Riven. That's his super move from DNF Duel. Yeah, I don't like it compared to what's it called? Extreme Overkill, where he creates a sword. And normally he only creates the hilt, and as you hit enemies, it powers up the sword until it's complete, and then you can unleash it for super damage. But since his Neo, I think since he hit Neo, now he always creates the completed sword. But yeah, after you create it, you just slam it down on the ground, and then it explodes, and there's blood everywhere. Like that. It does a bunch of damage. And it's awesome. Stabby. That's another one that he has in the game, actually. Forgot about that one. Where'd he go? Oh. See, I like the Berserker a lot. I just think he's cool. Yeah, so like GFO, I'm really glad with DNF Duel. I had a lot of fun with the beta. I didn't even know that the beta was still going yesterday. I actually ended up not playing it all that much yesterday. It wasn't like I still put, I want to say, like between 6 and 7 hours into the beta, and I had a lot of fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to either if they do another beta or if they just decide to release the game. Whatever it is, I'm looking forward to it. You can actually see my characters here too. So here they all are completed, except for the Dark Knight, because I think characters only get added to this screen when they hit level 90, I think it is, something like that. So there's Neo Berserker, Demon Slayer, Vagabond, Spectre, Grappler, which is the one in the game, DNF Duel. They have Grappler, Brawler, Striker, Nendmaster, Ranger, a Launcher, Elemental Bomber, Elementalist, Exorcist, Mistress, Rogue, Lightbringer, Dragon Knight, Skirmisher, Hitman. So yeah, so for the game they went with Hitman. Obviously they also have now Troubleshooter. They went with Vanguard for Demonic Lancer, which you don't have. Dragon Knight for Knight, which is cool. Kunoichi for Thief, I have a Rogue. Priestess, Inquisitor, Mistress. They went... I can't believe they went with freaking Crusader. I have Exorcist, which I think is cool. I'm kind of surprised they went with Crusader, but but then at the same time, if you play Dungeon Fighter, you know that people always need Crusaders, because Crusader is one of the very few buff classes in the game. So naturally, when people are doing the end game crazy difficult stuff, they want a buffer, so they're always asking for Crusaders in chat. So I think just from that, I'm like, yeah, I guess it makes sense that he's in. And they don't have either of the mages yet. I don't know who they'll do, because mages have freaking 5 classes to choose from, which not a lot of characters do. It's the mages and the slayers have 5. Apparently, just recently they announced that the gunner's going to get a 5th one. Assault, I think it was. Specifically, the male gunner, specifically. I don't know if that translates to the female gunner, too. Probably not, because for the slayer, I don't even know when his 5th one got added. All I know is that the 5th female slayer just got added recently. Just like, okay.